I want to start today by asking you to do something a little weird. I want you to try and step entirely outside of time.
That's a pretty big a request for a Tuesday.
I know, right? But bear with me here.
Yeah.
Usually when we talk about time, we think about, clocks. We think about schedules and deadlines.
Right, linear progression of it.
Exactly. We think about the seconds ticking by linearly, one after the other, marching us all toward the future. But I want you to imagine that you could completely disconnect your perception of reality from that clock.
Okay.
Imagine you could hold a moment in your hand and just stretch it like taffy, or compress an entire hour into a single second. What would the world actually look like if you had that kind of power?
It's a concept that sounds like science fiction, or maybe some kind of heavy metaphysics, but it's actually the fundamental question of the source material we are covering today.
It is. We are diving back into the Animator Survival Kit by the legendary Richard Williams, and specifically we are looking at a chapter that I think might be the most mind-bending section of the entire book.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's chapter 13 in some editions, I think chapter 14 in others, but it's titled Timing, Staggers, Wave, and Whip.
And while those words, staggers, whips, they sound very technical, very mechanical.
Yeah.
But what Williams is really teaching here is how to manipulate the physics of our universe to create an illusion of life that is, in some ways, more real than reality itself.
That's a really bold claim. More real than a reality. But he starts this chapter with an anecdote that, honestly, it really backs that up.
It does.
It's a story about a scientist friend of his. And reading this part, I have to say, it felt a bit like reading a psychological thriller.
It really has a bit of a mad scientist vibe to it, doesn't it?
It totally does. So set the scene for us. Williams has this friend, a scientist, who decides to conduct this experiment on the nature of movement.
Right. And the experiment was deceptively simple. He took a camera and he just went out into the world. He filmed everything. Men walking, animals running, people interacting in the street.
Just normal, everyday stuff.
Exactly. But, and this is the key, he didn't film them to capture them accurately. He intentionally filmed them at the wrong speeds.
He broke the time code.
He broke it completely. He filmed things wildly too fast or excruciatingly slow. And then he invited Richard Williams into his lab, sat him down, and just said, watch this.
And Williams describes this experience vividly. He says he sat there for an hour watching this footage, and by the end of it, his mind had turned inside out.
It's such a visceral description. And the fascinating thing is that it wasn't just that things looked funny or cartoonish, it was that the fundamental identity of the subjects actually changed.
Yes. The example that really stuck with me was the elephants.
The elephants are the perfect example of this. So in reality, an elephant is heavy. It's lumbering. It has massive weight and mass. But when the scientists sped up the film, that mass just evaporated. Williams said they looked like skittering mice.
That is so weird to picture.
They looked nervous, they looked light, their whole biological nature seemed to shift just because of the playback speed.
And then he did the reverse, right? He showed footage of actual mice, but slowed down.
And suddenly, these tiny, twitchy little creatures transformed. They became lumbering. They had weight. They looked like elephants.
It's unnerving, isn't it? It suggests that our perception of what an animal is, its personality, its weight, its danger, is almost entirely dependent on the speed at which our brain processes its movement.
Precisely. We decode the world through timing.
Yeah.
And it got even more disturbing when they looked at humans.
Oh, the humans were the creepiest part by far.
He showed footage of people participating in religious rituals. Now, usually a ritual is somber, it's slow, it's dignified, it's all about reverence. But when you speed that up...
He said they looked like they were playing a frantic game of tag.
Yeah.
Like they were manic. The dignity just vanished instantly.
It did. And on the flip side, he showed people kissing, something intimate, passionate. But when slowed down drastically, it didn't look romantic at all.
Right?
It looked monstrous. He said it looked like two gargoyles chewing on each other.
That image is going to haunt me for a while. Two gargoyles.
But the point Williams makes here isn't just, wow, cameras are cool. It's about the God's eye view.
And that's the hook.
Yeah.
That is the mission statement for the Animator. See, we are all trapped in normal time. We live at 24 hours a day, 60 seconds a minute.
We don't have a choice.
We don't. But the Animator stands entirely outside of that. The Animator is that scientist in the lab. They have the absolute power to decide that this specific motion shouldn't happen at normal speed. It should happen at elephant speed or mouse speed.
And that realization is incredibly empowering, but I imagine it's also a little daunting. Because if you can do anything with time, what should you do?
Well, Williams gives a very clear answer to that. And it's the core philosophy of this entire chapter. He says, quite bluntly, normal is boring. Normal is boring. I highlighted that 3 times in my notes.
It's the trap that so many novice animators fall into. They try to mimic reality exactly. They look at a reference video, they count the frames, and they copy it 1 to 1.
And the result?
It looks dead.
It looks like rotoscoping, right?
Exactly. It looks like a tracing. It has no soul. Williams argues that to make something feel alive on screen, you have to deviate from reality. You have to push the timing into the extremes.
He breaks it down into 2 ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Too fast or too slow.
Right. If you go too fast or faster than reality, you get comedy. You get that spastic, high-energy feeling. Think of a screwball comedy character running around. It's frantic. It creates adrenaline for the audience.
And if you go too slow,
you get beauty, you get dignity, you get weight and presence.
he shares this wonderful anecdote about the tramp character to illustrate the too slow concept. Now, this wasn't a cartoon, right? This was live-action footage he was analyzing.
Yes, but it was footage filmed at a higher frame rate, around 30 or 32 frames per second, and then played back at the standard 24.
Okay, so the effect is a slight slow motion. Not Matrix-level slow motion, just dragging a bit.
Just enough to notice. It just takes the edge off normal time.
And the subject was a tramp sitting on a park bench. He wasn't doing anything heroic. He wasn't fighting a dragon or giving a speech. He was literally just taking a matchstick and putting it in his ear.
Gross, but okay.
Yeah, a completely mundane throwaway action. But because it was slowed down, Williams noticed something incredible. He talks about seeing little rippling muscles of pleasure spreading across the man's face.
Rippling muscles of pleasure, that is such a specific phrase.
It is, but think about what that means. At normal speed, that man just sticks a match in his ear and scratches. It's over in half a second.
You don't see the emotion.
Exactly. You just see the action. But by slowing it down, by stepping out of normal time, the viewer is forced to see the sensation. You see the relief. You see the satisfaction in the muscles.
It becomes, as Williams puts it, strange but compulsive viewing.
Compulsive. You can't look away. And that is the secret formula Williams offers us here. He says the way to keep an audience hooked isn't to be realistic. It's to combine these extremes.
So you mix the fast and the slow.
You avoid the middle entirely. You avoid normal. You make a movement just a little bit too fast, and then you immediately contrast it with something just a little bit too slow.
That rhythm, that snap and drag, is what keeps the human brain engaged. It's texture.
Texture is a really great word for it. We aren't just moving an object from point A to point B. We are giving that movement a tactile feeling. Is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it heavy? Is it light?
And to achieve that texture, you need tools. You can't just feel it. You have to engineer it mathematically. And that brings us to the technical meat of this deep dive, the survival kit part of the Animator's survival kit.
Let's open the toolbox. The first big concept he drops on us is stagger timings, or as I like to think of it, the art of vibration.
Staggers are absolutely essential. If you want to show a character laughing uncontrollably, or shivering in the freezing cold, or the violent aftermath of a car crash, you need staggers.
Now, before reading this, if you asked me how to draw a character shivering, I probably would have just said, I don't know, draw them blurry, or draw a bunch of squiggly lines around them.
And that's what a lot of people do. They draw shake lines. But that just looks messy. It looks like a drawing of a shake. Williams is talking about creating the actual sensation of vibration through timing.
This requires us to visualize the math a little bit. So let's imagine we're looking at an exposure sheet, an X sheet. That's the spreadsheet animators use to plan out their frames, right?
Right. Column A is your action. Column B is the frame number on the film.
Okay. So let's say we want to animate a leaf fluttering down from a tree. A simple, gentle flutter.
A classic exercise. So you have your starting position. Let's call that extreme drawing number 1.
The leaf is up high.
Yes. And you have the end of the flutter extreme drawing number 9.
Okay. 1 is up, 9 is down.
And you have drawn 7 individual drawings in between those two to bridge the gap smoothly. So you literally have pieces of paper numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Got it. I'm picturing the stack of paper.
In a normal world, you would just photograph them in order. Frame 1 of the film gets drawing 1, frame 2 gets drawing 2, frame 3 gets drawing 3, and so on.
And on screen, that would look like what?
It would look like a smooth, linear drift. The leaf would just slide down the screen perfectly. It wouldn't flutter at all. It would glide.
I'm adoring.
Deadly boring. To get the flutter, to get that resistance against the air that tells the audience this is lightly falling, you have to use a staggered exposure. You have to manipulate the order in which the audience sees the drawings.
Okay, so walk me through the pattern. We aren't going 1, 2, 3, 4 anymore.
No, we might do something like this. You expose drawing 1, then you jump to drawing 3.
Okay, skipping 2.
Then you go back to drawing 2.
Oh!
Then you jump forward to drawing 4, then back to drawing 3, then jump to 5.
Whoa, okay. Let me process that math. 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5.
Think about what that actually does to your eye on the screen. The general trend is forward. We are moving from position 1 to position 9. But for every 2 steps forward, we are taking 1 violent step back.
It creates a visual stutter.
Exactly. It creates a jagged, vibrating forward momentum. The leaf is fighting the air. It's pushing down, getting pushed back up, pushing down again. And this is all created just by shuffling the order of the frames. You didn't draw anything new.
That is so cool. It's like remixing a song to create a glitch effect, but for physical motion.
That's a brilliant analogy, and Williams points out that this is just the basic pattern. You can vary the math and get completely different physical materials.
Like, what if I wanted something heavier or more violent?
If you want a violent crash, like a car hitting a brick wall, you wouldn't just go 1, 3, 2. You need sharper contrast. You might go 1, 5, 4, 2, 7.
They're jumping all over the timeline.
You are creating chaos on the screen, but it's controlled chaos. You are engineering the confusion so the audience feels the impact in their own bodies. Or, if you want something erratic, like a broken machine sputtering, you can hold some frames longer.
Hold them how?
You expose frame 2 for 3 counts, so it stays on screen longer. Then you flash frame 6 for just 1 count. Then back to frame 3 for 2 counts.
So it's not random. It feels completely random and broken to the viewer, but every single frame is calculated by the animator.
Precisely, it's an illusion of randomness.
He gives another example to explain this vibration concept that really helped me visualize it. The diving board.
The classic diving board. This is an absolute staple of animation physics.
So visualize a swimming pool. A diver has just jumped off the end of the board. The diver is gone, they're in the water. We're just looking at the board itself.
And what does the board do? It goes boom. It vibrates wildly.
Right, it goes down, then up, then down, then up, until it eventually stops.
So, to animate this without losing your mind, Williams sets up 3 key positions. Position number 1 is the board bent all the way down, maximum tension.
Right, touching the water almost.
Position number 9 is the board flat in the center neutral, where it started before anyone stood on it. And position number 17 is the board bent all the way up into the air.
Okay, down at 1, flat at 9, up at 17.
You create all the in-between drawings to connect them, but the magic is in the cycle. You play the frames from 1 to 17, the board goes up, then you play them backwards from 17 to 1, the board goes down.
And you just loop it.
If you just loop it 1 to 17, 17 to 1 forever, it will vibrate forever. It's a perpetual motion machine.
Which violates physics. Eventually, the board has to stop.
And that leads us to the concept of decay. In physics, energy dissipates. There's friction, there's air resistance. The vibration has to die down naturally.
So how do you animate dying down? You just stop drawing and leave it at frame 9?
No, if you did that, it would look like the board hit an invisible wall and froze. You have to slowly reduce the extremes. Williams explains this brilliantly. You might have your first cycle go all the way from extreme 1 to extreme 17. Huge movement.
Right, the biggest point.
But the next time it passes through the center at 9, maybe you don't go all the way down to 1. Maybe you only go to drawing 3.
Oh, I see.
And on the upswing, you only go up to drawing 15.
You're clipping the wings of the movement.
Exactly. The arc gets smaller and smaller. He calls these Series A, Series B, Series C. You pass through the center every time, but each time you travel less distance outward. Until finally, the board settles gently at 9.
It's amazing how much math is involved here. When I watch a cartoon, I'm just laughing at the coyote falling off a cliff. I'm not thinking about decay rates and oscillation cycles.
Animation is physics and math disguised as art. The viewer feels the emotion, the animator calculates the oscillation. It's a very analytical process to create a purely emotional result.
But here is where the chapter takes a really interesting turn. Because Williams, being the perfectionist he is, looks at this stagger technique we just talked about. The leaf, the diving board, and he admits it has a flaw.
He does. He says it's a really great method, but for certain things, it completely fails.
What's the failure point?
It's too mechanical.
Too mechanical, even with the decay.
Think about the diving board. It's a rigid object. It's made of fiberglass or wood. It goes up and down along a fixed path. That works perfectly with the 1, 3, 2, 4 stagger. But living things, flesh and blood.
We are rigid.
Exactly. When a person shivers, or when a dog shakes water off its fur, it's not a mechanical piston action going perfectly side to side. It's fluid, it's organic, it's sloppy.
So the leaf stagger on a person looks like a strobe light.
It looks like a machine malfunctioning. It doesn't look like a living creature trembling with fear. It looks stiff.
So we need a better mousetrap. And this leads us to the advanced vibration technique, the side-to-side formula.
This is the holy grail of vibration. And before he even explains the mechanics, Williams makes a point to trace the lineage of this technique. I love this part of the book.
Me too. It felt like he was reciting the genealogy of kings in a fantasy novel.
It really is the royal bloodline of animation. He says this technique was originally developed by Norman Ferguson at Disney.
Norman Ferguson?
Yeah.
That guy who animated Pluto,
A
right?
total legend. Ferguson taught it to Seamus Colthane. Colthane taught it to Ken Harris. And Ken Harris, who Williams reveres like a literal god throughout this book, taught it to Richard Williams.
It's the passing of the torch, or the passing of the flame, from master to apprentice.
It emphasizes that these aren't just tricks someone made up on a Tuesday afternoon. This is craft knowledge, honed over decades of trial and error by the absolute masters of the medium.
So let's uncork this bottle. What is the secret technique? How is it different from the leaf stagger?
Okay. Imagine you want to animate a character's head wobbling. Maybe they just got hit with a frying pan and they are dazed. Or maybe they're laughing so hard their head is bobbling around.
Okay, I'm picturing a dazed, cartoonish wobble.
Step 1. You forget about vibration entirely. You just animate the head doing a smooth circular roll.
Just a normal roll.
Just a roll. Let's say it takes 33 drawings. The head rolls smoothly around the neck. Let's call this stack of drawings Series 1.
Okay, got it. Series 1 is a smoothly rolling head.
Now, step 2. This is the secret. You take that entire stack of drawings, Series 1, and you put them on your light desk, and you trace them to create a second series. Let's call it Series 1A.
So I'm just copying my own work perfectly.
You are copying it, but, and this is critical, you are offsetting it.
Offsetting it in space, like moving the paper.
In space. So if Series 1 has the nose exactly at the center of the paper, Series 1A might have the nose a quarter inch to the left and slightly up. You essentially have two ghosts of the head doing the exact same smooth motion,
Yeah.
but they are physically separated on the page.
Okay, so I have two complete stacks of drawings, Series 1 and Series 1A. They are identical except for their position.
Step 3. You interleave them on the camera. You shoot frame 1 from the first series, then frame 1A from the offset series, then frame 2 from the first series, then frame 2A from the offset series.
Wait, so on screen, what am I actually seeing?
You are seeing two strips of action fighting each other. Because you are jumping back and forth every single frame between the two offset positions, the head isn't just rolling smoothly anymore, it's vibrating while it rolls.
It creates a blur.
It creates volume. Instead of a mechanical back and forth like the diving board, you get this complex, organic wobble. It's like the two drawings are vibrating against one another in three-dimensional space. It feels fluid. It feels like flesh and bone moving.
He uses this amazing visual analogy of the DNA helix to explain it.
That's the perfect way to visualize it.
He talks about the triumph or rage arm. Imagine a character raising their fist in the air, screaming in victory.
Yes.
Or screaming in anger.
You want that arm to be trembling with intense tension. You want the muscles to look like they are about to snap under the pressure.
If you use the basic leaf stagger, the arm would just look like it was glitching up the screen like a broken video game.
Right. But with the side-to-side formula, you draw the arm going up smoothly, Series A. You draw the offset version, Series B, and you interleave them. If you look at a chart of the motion, it would look like two wavy lines intertwining, climbing up the page exactly like a DNA strand.
And visually, that creates that internal struggle on the screen.
Exactly. It mimics biology. When your arm shakes in real life from lifting something incredibly heavy, it's because your muscles are firing in opposing groups. Your agonist and antagonist muscles are literally fighting each other for stability. This animation technique perfectly captures that biological conflict.
It's so clever. It's calculating the physics of tension.
And Williams says this gives you endless possibilities of wobbles, judders, quivers, and shakes. You can make it a tight, high-frequency vibration by keeping the offset really small.
Like a millimeter off.
Right. Or you can make it a loose, sloppy, drunk wobble by making the offset huge.
It's a dial you can turn to get exactly the performance you need.
It is absolute control over the texture of the movement.
Okay, so we've got things shaking, vibrating, and trembling. Now I want to shift gears to something smoother, something more fluid, but just as complex. Let's talk about the whip and the wave.
The whip. Now, this is a term that gets thrown around a lot in animation circles, but Williams breaks down the actual physics of it in a way I hadn't seen before.
He starts by analyzing a real whip crack.
Yeah.
Like full-on Indiana Jones style whip.
Right. And ask yourself, how does a whip actually move? Most people think it's just a straight line that goes out and goes snap.
But it's not. It's a wave.
It's a chain reaction. This is where novice animators get it completely wrong. They move the whole whip at once. But in reality, the handle moves first.
The hand drives the action.
The hand drives forward. The whip itself, it's lazy. It has inertia. It wants to stay exactly where it was, so it drags.
Drag is such an important concept here. It comes up over and over again.
It is the foundation of fluid movement. Because the handle is moving forward and the tip is dragging back, the whip forms a loop. It curls over itself. And as the energy travels down that loop toward the tip, it accelerates.
Then comes the snap.
The snap is critical. And Williams is very, very specific about the timing here. The crack of the whip happens in a single frame. It is an instantaneous, violent reversal of direction.
But he mentions a detail about the frame before the snap that I found really interesting. He says you need to carry the eye.
This is pure showmanship. You can't just go from loop to snap. It's too fast for the audience to track what happened. You need a frame right before the impact that stretches the whip out and guides the viewer's vision to the exact spot where the crack is going to happen. It's like a magician telling you, watch my hand.
And then, and this is the specific rule that blew my mind, he says the thong of the whip relaxes exactly one frame after the snap.
Just one frame.
What? Just one? Why not let it hang there out in space for a second so we can see it?
Because of the physics of recoil. If you hold that tension out straight for 2 or 3 frames, the whip looks stiff. It looks like a rigid stick. But if you relax it immediately, just 1/24th of a second later, it implies that all the energy was expended in that single violent crack. It sells the incredible power of the action.
It's amazing how precise that is. One frame is the difference between a deadly weapon and a wet noodle.
That's the margin of error in world-class animation.
So that's the violent version. But then he talks about the wave action, which is basically the whip's gentler cousin.
Right, he defines the wave simply as a whip without the snap.
It's the same fluid physics, the same drag, but without the violence at the end. The energy just dissipates softly.
And of course, he uses another Ken Harris example to teach this. Ken Harris is truly the hero of this entire chapter.
He really is. The guy is everywhere. The example is a man swinging on a rope, like Tarzan.
Okay, picture this. Tarzan is swinging on a long vine. Now, in the real world, if you hang on a rope, gravity pulls you straight down. The rope is a perfect straight line from your hands up to the tree branch.
Right, it's taut.
But if you draw a perfectly straight rope in animation, it looks terrible.
It looks like a pendulum clock. It looks stiff and lifeless.
Exactly. So Williams says, we lie. We use the wave and drag principle. As Tarzan swings forward, we don't draw the rope straight, we draw it curved. The rope drags behind his momentum.
It forms a big C shape in the air.
The belly of the rope trails behind the action. It creates the illusion of flexibility. It makes the air feel thick and real.
And then when he reaches the top of the swing and starts coming back down the other way,
The curve reverses completely. The rope snakes into a reverse C shape.
so the rope is constantly snaking through the air, changing shape, acting almost like liquid.
Even though in absolute reality it would be a straight line. This is what Williams means by more real than reality. That sweeping curve feels like a dynamic swing. The scientifically accurate straight line just feels like geometry.
And you have to cushion the ends, right? The swing doesn't just hit a wall and bounce back.
Oh, absolutely. The swing has to slow down at the absolute top of the arc. That's gravity doing its work. If he hits the top and bounces back instantly, he looks weightless. You have to spend frames at the top, packing drawings closely together, letting the energy die out before gravity pulls him back down.
I love that he takes this massive, full-body physical concept, swinging on a giant rope, and then applies the exact same logic to something incredibly small, eyelashes.
I audibly laughed out loud when I read that part. It's so perfect and unexpected.
A woman batting her eyelashes.
It's the exact same physics as the Indiana Jones whip.
I never in a million years thought of eyelashes as whips.
But look at the diagram he draws. When the eye opens, the lashes don't just move up rigidly like a garage door. They drag. The eyelid pulls up, and the tips of the lashes drag down.
Pretty tiny curve.
Then they snap open at the top, and when the eye closes, they drag up against the air before snapping down.
It's literally a microscopic whip crack happening on your face.
It is, and that subtle drag and snap is what makes the animation look feminine or flirtatious in that classic Disney or Tex Avery style. If you just moved the lashes up and down uniformly, it would look like a creepy doll's eyes opening and closing. The actual life is in the whip.
This really drives home the point that these aren't just cartoon tricks. They are universal physics principles that scale up and scale down. A whip, a giant rope, a tiny eyelash, it's all the exact same underlying math.
And that scales perfectly into the final section of this chapter, the synthesis of all of this, the moment where everything we've talked about just clicks together.
This is definitely the aha moment of the deep dive. It's the story of the dinner with Abe Levitan.
This is such a great industry story. So the context is that Williams is working on the animated film A Christmas Carol. It's crunch time. The stress in the studio is incredibly high. And he's out to dinner with Abe Levitan, another brilliant animator.
And Williams makes a very specific point to note that they were demolishing the wine.
A crucial detail. The absolute best animation secrets are always seemingly shared over a bottle of red wine after a long shift.
Naturally. So Abe Levitan starts talking about a scene he just finished animating. It was a shot of Tiny Tim, the sickly kid, laughing. And Abe casually mentions that he gave him a wonderful little laugh.
And then Abe just drops this absolute bombshell of a sentence. He says, "I'm awfully glad that years ago Ken Harris showed me that whip principle as a pattern for a laugh."
And Williams, who is totally standing in for all of us, the readers here, is completely baffled. He's staring at Abe across the table like he has two heads.
Williams says, "What? I don't get it."
And honestly, I didn't get it either at first read. How is a laugh a whip? A whip is violent. It cracks, it hurts. A laugh is bubbly, it's joyful. They seem like complete opposites.
Right. But Abe grabs a napkin, or maybe they went back to the studio and grabbed some animation paper. The story blurs a bit, but he scribbles down the pattern.
And what does the pattern look like on the page?
It looks like a figure 8, or a loop-the-loop on a roller coaster.
Okay, walk me through the body mechanics of this. How does a figure 8 make a laugh?
Think about a real deep, belly-shaking laugh. What do your shoulders do?
My shoulders go up and then down, up and down, heaving.
Okay, that's the handle of the whip. The shoulders are driving the heavy action. Now think about your head. Your head is heavy. It's essentially a bowling ball sitting on a flexible column, which is your neck.
Okay.
When your shoulders shoot up, does your head go up instantly with them?
No, because of inertia. It would lag behind, it would drag down.
There is the drag. Your shoulders go up violently. Your chin tucks down instinctively. Drag.
Okay, I can literally feel that happening.
Now your shoulders hit the top of the heave and start to drop down fast. What happens to the head?
It snaps up.
It snaps up and over. It whips. Shoulders go down, head goes up and back. It's an opposing action.
It is the whip action.
It is exactly the whip action. The shoulders are the handle driving the force. The head is the tip of the whip, dragging, looping, and snapping.
That is wild. I'm trying it right now as we speak. Ha ha ha. And yeah, my head is tracing a little figure 8 in the air.
And if you look at the frame-by-frame breakdown of Tiny Tim in the book, you see it perfectly clearly. It's very subtle because it's a gentle, sickly kid's laugh, but the physics are all there. The head tilts, drags behind the body's movement, whips around the top of the arc, and settles.
And that transforms it from a mechanical ha-ha-ha robot sound into a genuine, convulsing, organic laugh.
It creates the feeling of air actually being forced out of the lungs. It feels uncontrolled. It feels like the body is being completely overtaken by the emotion of joy.
And this brings us right back to that core philosophy we started the show with. Abe Levitan didn't just observe a kid laughing and try to visually copy the shapes. He understood the underlying physics. He applied a totally abstract mathematical principle, the whip to human acting.
That's the so what of this whole chapter. That's why this matters beyond just making cartoons. These tools, staggers, whips, waves, they aren't just for slapstick comedy routines. They are the underlying structural DNA of complex human movement. A laugh is a whip, a shiver is a stagger, a dazed look is a side-to-side offset vibration.
It's like animators are reverse engineering the source code of reality.
That's exactly what they are doing. They are taking the chaotic data of the real world, like the scientists' distorted footage, and they are finding the strict algorithms that run underneath it all.
So let's recap the journey we've been on today, because we really covered a massive amount of ground.
We did. We started with the God's eye view. The realization that time is completely malleable and that mimicking normal speed is fundamentally boring. The animator's true job is to create texture by aggressively mixing the too fast with the too slow.
Then we move through the complex math of staggers, using exposure sheets to create the illusion of vibration. We learned about the leaf flutter, going 1, 3, 2, 4, and the diving board decay.
We looked at the side-to-side formula, the two ghosts technique for creating organic, fleshy shaking that mimics real muscle tension.
We cracked the physics of the whip and the wave, learning that everything from a heavy rope swing to a delicate eyelash follows the exact same dragon snap rule.
And we landed on the laugh, the definitive proof that these abstract principles are what actually give characters their soul.
It really changes how you look at animation, doesn't it?
It changes how you look at everything. When you watch a great piece of animation, whether it's classic Mickey Mouse or a brand new Pixar movie, you aren't seeing a recording of a performance. You are seeing a highly calculated mathematical reconstruction of time. You are seeing interleaved frames, offset tracings, and drag principles all working in invisible concert to trick your brain into feeling empathy.
And arguably, as William said about the tramp with the matchstick, it's more real than reality.
Because it highlights the essence. Reality is incredibly messy. It's full of visual noise. Animation distills the movement down to its purest, most potent emotional form. When Tiny Tim laughs, he is laughing with the mathematical perfection of a whip crack. That communicates the concept of joy more effectively and directly than a video recording of a real kid laughing ever could.
That's profound. It really makes me respect the art form so much more. It's not just drawing funny pictures on paper. It's engineering human empathy frame by frame.
It is the invisible art. The better they execute the math, the less you ever notice it.
So here is my provocative thought to leave you with, listener. We've talked a lot today about how animators manipulate time to make us feel specific things, using staggers to show stress, whips to convey joy.
Right.
My question is, how much of our own perception of body language in the real world is just us subconsciously decoding these exact same physics?
Oh, that's a really interesting point.
Like next time you see your friend shivering in the cold waiting for a bus, or you see someone doubled over laughing at a joke at dinner, don't just look at the raw emotion. Look for the stagger, look for the whip. Are we actually seeing these mechanical frames in real life, and our brains are just doing the X-sheet math without us knowing it?
Our brains are certainly processing the drag and the snap constantly. We instinctively interpret drag as relaxed and snap as tense or energetic. We are reading the complex physics of our friends and family every single day. We just don't have the exposure sheet in front of us to prove it.
Exactly. We're all basically living in a giant animated movie. We just can't see the frame numbers on the edge of the film.
That's a thought to keep you up at night staring at the ceiling.
Go out there and look for the invisible frames, everyone. Look for the texture.
And definitely keep your timing interesting. Normal is boring.
Always.
Yeah.
Thanks for diving in with us on this source material. We will catch you on the next deep dive.
See you next time.